So now, with that being said, goes back to what I said on a live once before, right? We have reached a space in time, a space in our culture where the beliefs, the understanding, the resources, right, that are afforded to us in regards to healthy relationships are lacking. And they're lacking not because they aren't available, but they're lacking because we don't know that they're there and accessible, right? People aren't going to couples counseling. They're not doing marriage counseling like they should. In childhood, we're not being pushed to go to therapy when our parents make decisions that take us through some sort of traumatic events. We are not acknowledging adverse childhood experiences and being real about the effect that it's having on us. We're still in a space where even though there's a Me Too movement, people are still silenced about their physical, mental, sexual abuse that is happening to them when they were supposed to be protected by caregivers. And so because of that, right, there is a lack of unification between genders and families in our culture, right? So what's happening is we are hypersexual, right? Based on a lot of the traumas and things that are going on, lack of understanding that there are resources there. We are hypersexual in our culture, both male and female, right? Both. Somebody put both. We are being hypersexual as women and we are being hypersexual as men. And I know where it comes from, but that's a different live on a different day, dealing with generational curses and developmental behavioral issues as you go through your upbringing, right? But both genders are hypersexual. The part about hypersexual that we're not being real about is there is only one gender, right, that bears the physical effects of having a child. When we talk about hypersexual, we are not being honest with ourselves that even though both genders are behaving hypersexual, right, and not being responsible with their bodies in regards to sex, only one gender, right, is physically affected in an adverse way when someone gets pregnant and a child is born. Only one gender. So both of them fucking out of control and not being responsible, but only one person comes out severely fucked up in regards to a pregnancy or a child being conceived. Does everybody understand that? That is a fact. Both genders fucking off the wall. Irresponsibly. Only one gender is physically affected by the idea of a sperm fertilizing an egg. Does everybody understand that? Because we're not being honest with ourselves about that simple fact, both genders are in it, acting as though they hold equal responsibility to what happens after the egg is fertilized by the sperm. And I'm going to tell y'all, right, this is a double-edged sword. I want y'all to watch how I get surgical with this, right? So on one hand, you have women blaming men for what happens in their lives and to their body when they choose to have a child. On the other end, you have men believing, right, that it's no pressure for a woman to bear that burden by herself, and that essentially if he walks away, it does not affect him, right? What both genders don't understand is that when this continues to occur like it is now, it comes back to bite both genders in the ass. Do y'all understand what I'm explaining? If you listening to what I'm saying, it's a double-edged sword. You have women that all they do is complain and blame their baby daddy for what has happened with their bodies and their life in regards to having children. And then you have men that when they are faced with the adverse experience with the woman, based on children being born, they believe the solution, right, for themselves, right, in the moment for mental health or whatever reasons they've reasoned with themselves on, right, is to walk the fuck away and leave it be because that's what it seems like she wants, right? Or that's what it seems like is the best solution. What occurs is this shit comes back to bite both of them. Both of them. Exactly, because it's about the product in the end. Regardless of what your reasons is, regardless of what her reasons is, children that come from single parent households, children that are mostly influenced by only one gender, regardless of if it's male or female, right? They produce a worser product than those that come from a balanced, well-rounded family unit. Meaning there are men influencing the child, there are women influencing the child. People, the little people get to see how women do stuff, but also how men do stuff and how they're